So, my chart of the day is actually for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. I know that sounds weird, maybe to some people, that is not a regular stock that I would usually talk about, but it's important to know that you should always look at the charts for the big indexes just as much as you look at all of your regular charts because everything is going to try to follow the indexes anyway, and you would want to see when they are buying and selling and ebbing and flowing. And so same thing for the Dow Jones. So I have my 30-day moving average, my trusty 30-day, and it's going up. So most of your charts are going to probably be heading up that you would really want to trade in, at least the ones that I do, because I like a nice steady trade. No sense in stressing myself out. But anyway, and so what I'm showing on my charts is that buying is probably going to resume. It's been kind of, shaky and everything for the last little bit. You can see in here, it's just been kind of an up and down thing. But there was quite a bit of selling, I can see with my MACD, and there was also a nice selling trigger for Williams. And so I see that there's probably going to be some buying coming. And the nice thing too for today was that the Dow recovered very well because of the fears with North Korea from overnight last night, and then this morning I wasn't sure how it was going to go because futures were down for the Dow, I think before the open, like negative 120. So and it opened up down that low, but it looks like it recovered fine, so the tensions were eased. So anyway, I would watch to see if in tomorrow, maybe the next day, if the Dow goes up just a little bit more, it'll be a nice time for buying. So I would be reviewing charts, the next couple of days and looking for candidates that you think are good to trade. Another chart that I want to look at that I keep seeing people talk about today was Best Buy. So I was looking at Best Buy because that seemed to be a hot topic. So here is Best Buy here. As you can see, this was their last earnings event, and they gapped way up, so they were good. And it kind of stayed up in this area. And then today, they had really good earnings, and they had really good guidance. And you would think that would be a good, gap up again. This is the exact reason that I do not do earnings options plays. If I have a stock and I know it's going to go through earnings, sometimes I will take my profit and then let earnings pass and then decide if I want to get back in or not. I realize that if it pops up on earnings, I could make some good money, but I also realize that if it tanks on earnings, I will lose a lot, and it's really hard to get it back. I see a lot of people do earnings plays with options that are expiring in the current month or the following month, and it just makes me nervous when they do that. I've been on both ends of that, and it's been not fun when I have to lose money that I really didn't need to lose. So generally no earnings plays. What could have happened here on Best Buy is they could have an analyst downgrade. That happens a lot. Everything can be phenomenal, and you can have an analyst or two downgrade it, or they can get some bad coverage, and this is what happens. I don't know on Best Buy I don't think it had everything to do with news coverage that they had, but they did get into some trouble for price gouging. Let me bring that up. So they did get into some trouble for price gouging, as you can see. $42.96 for a case of water. I think they had one here for Smart Water for $29.98. They did get in trouble for some price gouging. Not in trouble, but just people were just up in arms, furious about the whole thing. So I don't know if it has anything to do with that. But nonetheless, even if that hadn't come out, I don't think that was the catalyst for this tank. I think it was probably an analyst downgrade. And I see that happen. I do see that happen sometimes. Like, everything can be great, and an analyst can say, nope, you're overvalued. We're going to, downgrade you to a hold, a sell, underperform, whatever. And sometimes analysts will rule things for a little while. So be careful of this. If you are going to trade with options, you don't want to just play around with your money and just kind of trade blindly. You will be sorely disappointed, And I think that it will kind of give you a bad taste for trading. Remember, when you trade options, you need to have a great chart. You need to understand how your chart is flowing, how indexes are flowing. Look at the Dow again. Everything should match up. Everything should be all aligned, and then you won't disappoint yourself. I promise you that. So look at these things, look for some good candidates, and if you like what you see, please like, share, subscribe. The web address will be at the top. And if you need candidates for your watch list, be sure to go to my website, click on free watch list updates, and you can have my watch list. And I am very picky about that. Just go to www.mymsts.com and you will see the address at the top of this window. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.